Deagle and P250 have essentially the same headshot potential. That's only within, I think, 50 units or 100 units, he said, difference. So in the first round, P250, a great addition to the T side, given the Glock has that lack of range. USP, it's still justifiably good as well, but maybe not, because from range, Chris J able to take down James. He does so with the P250 that he picked up from Rops, having died just beforehand, but he found one of the Glock before that as the bomb goes down on the site. Buster will start the rotation coming in from quad. He's got support, had support with him. Chris J again finds kicker. P250 headshots plenty. That's why you pick it up. It does come at a cost. Can't grab as much utility, but it finds 4 kills. So same thing again. 3-man crossfire set up toward the B site. This time no smoke down. There will be smokes deeper, however. From the T side, that invites Buster back out again. He finds a kill cleanly onto Frozen, and Adren is able to follow that up onto Kerrigan. Mousesport's almost sitting lost in this round. No one flanking, thankfully, for their sake, but the rotations have come in. They're walking into a stack. This is 2 rounds in a row. They've nearly been caught out by it, and I don't see this one going their way. They're 44 seconds. They don't need to commit to this. Foxic gets a trade, but he's immediately, overwhelmed by a double peek in the backside. He manages to at least pick up on Adren, but Chris, thankfully has bomb. 15 HP is going to have absolutely no idea that Sanji has positioned himself toward the top of alt mid. Peculiar. Okay, fair enough. He's got the headshot up. Sanji, he would have thought he had safety. Kickert's already inside of the boiler with him, but yet wasn't looking that direction. He snuck between the two. And I'm sure that'll be very frustrating for Virtus Pro. Nonetheless, they have the man advantage. James, Library nearly caught by Chris. He's not looking the fastest with his flicks, but he is hitting the shots. That's the important part now as Adren turns around to find Kerrigan, who had a back he could not hit.
Frozen's aim has looked pretty solid at the start of this game, and James is trapped in the corner. Sanji needs to assist him close range with the shotgun. Oh no, terrible timing. Kerrigan gets 1 kill for free, and now James is stuck in a really hard position. Frozen hunts him down, and this is dangerous.
It's not the best position out of the AWP, and is it? You'd almost want the hook, line, and sink from the AWP to be from the arch, and have the other player in the company, but instead now they have to recover. Voxic does get Buster back. Works his way toward the doorway, but Kickert actually might beat them to this. He didn't look to his right. Chris J was primed for the taking. He looks above instead, but Chris missing the shot. That's his chance to actually potentially get 2. Thankfully, Voxic steps out to save the AWP, and a smoke will go down in front of Library. However, Adren will arrive from the opposing side of the map. Voxic, therefore, smart to go for the safe plants, and Chris ready to look that direction.
Yeah, I think the most important thing is just making sure you are kind of comfortable with that sensitivity. Whatever feels the most comfortable is probably best for you. Kickert almost getting that kill there. Sanji eventually hunts that man down. Sanji, tapping away with the P2000. He's somehow come away with 2 kills, and with Voxic being low on health, he has to back away.
That's actually pretty stunning. There was so much damage done on the initial exchange as well as Kicker walked out from boiler position, but Sanji, 16, 2 kills, backs away. Rops held his nerve and held the ground toward the boiler, so despite that they went back over toward Banana, he was ready for the counter push. Now the question is, do they commit to the B take? Because that is where both players remaining exist. Doesn't matter at this point, they can go either way. It's just Adren to find. He can still, with a stroke of good luck, I was going to say catch them off, but they've heard him and Frozen's ready for it.
This is going to be tight, though.
Yeah, I think that's it. They can't do it now because they had to get that. If they wrapped and cleared Library, then they can control the site enough to at least play for the trades when the bomb arrives. Now, they're not even going to go. 10 seconds, they're going to hold. Fox6 sits back. Remember, the CTs have the advantage of getting kills after the time and keeping money from Mousesports. That's why Frozen gets all the way inside of the underpass, and I think this is how it ends. 7 players still alive, but Mousesports left that far too long.
He's on Banana right now. Again, as I was saying earlier, either Kerrigan or Chris J normally leading the charge, but the boost is well timed. Woxic gets it back through the smoke, and Buster is now the only man on this B side of the map.
Frozen will lead the way. Buster smoked off. It's actually going to find an escape route toward New Box. Smart little self-smoke. Doesn't do much to prevent the T's from gaining access to the site, but it keeps him alive for exactly that reason. He now finds 2, bomb down. James will find himself drowning in smoke as well, but that still keeps him in contention. And when Sanji walks back out, Frozen's a sitting duck.
Their most picked map is joint between Dust 2 and Train, but that's only at a 20% rate, so they really don't have a clear pick. They decided to pick Inferno, thinking that's their best bet here. Sanji holding, has players not looking his direction. James and Sanji again combining on that long hold.
Had players to trade if they try to pursue. Kiekert will catch him when he does walk back inside of the site. But Rops is there, as I mentioned, to trade. So with Sanji, he'll find him up on the balcony. Watch for Voxic. Sneaking on the side of the box. Somehow gets back around the corner, but Sanji gets to him before he can set his aim at the ready. So now another round, 5 in a row for Virtus Pro.
Buster is taking that AWP to Banana. Virtus Pro again having 3 players stacked on this B side of the map. That nade goes soaring into the arms of Frozen, who spams back onto Buster. In the last round of the half, Mouse Sports are leaning over onto the A side of the map. And as it stands, Virtus Pro don't have too many players here. Quick kill from Rops. And this round should really be done and dusted at this point. James and Adren have got a hell of a task on their hands. Nice shot from James. Gets the follow-up onto Rops after legging him previously. Adren tries to push down Banana, but Woxic wins the battle, and that will be the half over and done with any second now. Adren hoping to fight his way out of this one, and he's gifted a couple of kills. Now into a 1v2, there could be a chance for him in this clutch. He's got the smoke and the kit available to him, but there's Chris J coming in for the flank and giving Mouse Sports a 7th round at the half.
Rops with that smoke can jump down quickly and disappear. He's done exactly that. Couldn't find a kill beforehand, but Kiekert, he's going to remove 2 before Adren does find Rops. Kerrigan on the flank gets in position fast enough to try and do damage, but watch out because Buster was lurking down the middle. He's got to be so much quicker than that. Thankfully, Kickert's able to be very fast to the action and response. Bit of an awkward exchange. Certainly it has to be said for Buster on that Glock, but it may not matter unless Frozen somehow miraculously pulls this back. Smoke, kit, armor. He's pretty much got the perfect setup for a CT pistol to try and clutch back a 1-on-2. Couldn't ask for much more. 85 HP as well. James, he's watching library strictly, but at this point considers that it might be toward quad. He hasn't seen him emerge, and it's quite a distance to cover such little time. Adren takes care of it all on his own either way. MP7, Tech 9 used to be a Chris J with an AWP Tech 9 combo used to be fearsome. He's gone through everything, hasn't he? Kickert's going to start this round off with a double kill inside of Banana. That opens up the entire top side. Voxic waits, edge of the smoke, shot, flash, fade. He'll jump away. That allows Buster to pursue the position. Jump from Kiekert, that was a bit odd. He was already up the stairs, didn't need to leave his feet. That gives the kill to Chris, but immediately Buster gets the kill in return. Molotov over toward the arch. They're going to rotate this back the other way. Despite the man advantage, they know that they've forced enough rotations. They've done the math, counted the odds, and realized A's wide open. So, James for the bomb plants. And I think this goes to 12 rounds. I don't think there's a response from Mouse Sports yet to get a round so far on the CT side. Timing will be everything on those smokes. Voxic, it's clean and clear. Gets a shot toward Kickert's legs. The Molotov instead will be what takes him down. Frozen with a flash assist, but I don't really think the flash had much to do with it. Perhaps other than not giving him the indication he was standing on the flames. James over the top will take down Frozen. They know Voxic's back toward New Box, but he's disappeared inside of the smoke and somehow stays alive. Unfortunately, he won't be able to spar when he retrieves himself the position. Instead, though, it's Buster to find Kerrigan. That's a response to the fact that Mouse Sports had done all the killing in the meantime. Protecting himself by way of Fountain. Buster couldn't quite, or excuse me, rather, Chris J couldn't quite see him when he stepped wide, but he'll know he's toward the back of the site. Confirms that again with a shoulder peek. Good find from Rops. Although that's been revealed. Incendiary thrown. Kicker's forward of it. Doesn't catch him on the retreat, but knows that he's gone back toward New Box. Good response from Kerrigan. Catches him looking. James, he gets the shot through the coffins onto him. It's Buster that has to follow up and open the site by finding Frozen, and the smoke still down means Voxic has no access or vantage point from CT. Instead, he wraps the AWP toward Ruins. That as well, smoked off, is not, gonna give him much. The timing on that shot. There's kits, I should say one kit in play. Rops has it. There is a kit toward the site. Instead, they'll retreat back through spawn, and Buster, too quick on the case. It's such an awkward corridor to run down and try and save your weapons when they're inside of the site, isn't it? So that leaves Rops last alive. Krieg on the CT side, that's gone as well. Chris is the player that left the B site to play toward the arch, which means even though he's aware of it and takes down Kiekert, his teammate is completely alone. Kerrigan to hold the site with just a 5-7. Never really going to work, unfortunately. Great pistol in its own right. Not in that situation. And even though they're fast on the rotation, Adren up to the challenge on the AK will take down Chris the second that he arrives. Buster waits for Voxic. That clears Banana, and 15 rounds on the board for Virtus Pro. Map point on Inferno. Molotov deep, incendiary high. Kiekert beats Chris J in the Battle of Banana. Perhaps less effective. Oh, you can see why. You can still take map control back. Kerrigan flashed in, catches out Buster immediately, assist to Frozen. More so than, let's go back to the polar opposite, would have been Cash, where rotations are so distant and there's so many access points that the T's can take advantage of. Adren gets inside of the pit, but Rops was ready for it. Had yet to reveal that he was high and above the smoke inside of the site. When he does, finds two.
And this is where you start to wonder whether Virtus...
This is a big play. This is a risk. You're on map point, and you're pushing down mid with very little information, but this is actually going to work because Sanji's going to reveal himself, give himself up to Chris. They go back to 4-4. James wants to chase him down, but Chris is astute to the fact that it's possible he does so and positions himself at bench. Pre-fire doesn't work in his favor. James was slightly too far to his right, and Chris still manages somehow to get a Dren. James couldn't find it on the second shot either. Smokes himself out, dodges the bullets, 3 HP, and somehow finds himself alive.
And now Virtus Pro decide they just have to commit to this banana play. 22 seconds for them to get onto one of these bomb sites. And it will be the B play coming through. Frozen dishing out the damage through the smoke. Kerrigan goes down though. That could be the entry that VP needed, as now they can get this bomb planted.
Oh, the plant. Considering how much they had to commit back toward Chris J, the fact they're able to rush back into the B site and find a plant. Decent success. Chris will take down Kiekert in the end. Again, 3 HP for Chris as he rotates around, picks up an AWP, and finds a kill. Beyond. Oh, what was already in his favor. He's done a tremendous job to make this round possible, but James, with a double, has pulled this back to a one-on-one. Frozen, 13 HP to work with, has the Krieg. James, 29, has to check the defuse. He knows it's going to be coming in, but it's James that immediately finds Frozen instead, and it's a game in the hands of Virtus Pro.
And then we haven't really seen them too much recently. So I think they maybe could have shifted their map pool to maybe play a bit more Mirage, or it could just be the case, as the desk was suggesting, that they have kind of a sneaky pick up their sleeve. Great shot from Chris J at the start of this one. Kicker not aiming for the head, just spamming at the chest, and it eventually works out for him. Virtus Pro continuing to try to fight, but it's not going their way. Much more clinical from Mouse Sports on this pistol round as they land all the headshots they needed.
All the headshots, and then some. James, he gets one of his own in return onto Kerrigan. Chris is low enough that he can be found, and if... Oh, the positioning for Frozen's pretty solid. If Frozen's not careful, it would be isolated to another one-on-one, but he beats James immediately. Teams recover from 0-1 deficits many, many times, including last night. Vitality against against Na'Vi, and Na'Vi didn't exactly look like they were in a position to lose the first map. Vitality didn't look like they were in a position to win, so anything can happen. Sanji, gap in the smoke, massive.
That was literally every player from VP just rushing mid. There were 5 players waiting as the peak came through.
Seems quite reactive. I don't know, something just doesn't seem typical of James. I mean, don't get me wrong, he still put up decent numbers in the first map, but I'm used to seeing faster response time than that.
Well, it's still working out for Virtus Pro either way. Kerrigan is about to be caught in the open. Oh, no. He was thinking of getting the gun from window, but he was thinking way too far ahead because Virtus Pro get the timing right.
He's on this map, so it would have been foreseeable that if he had the spawn, he could have gone to window instead. James just absolutely punishes Voxic, though. If that's op versus op, he straight up beat him to the position.
Edging his way in. We saw those flashbangs be very successful on the previous map. That's a flick from James, landing perfectly. They're onto the A site, and Virtus Pro sticking together. James has been naded down, but the bomb plants will come through nonetheless.
It's pretty impressive. Usually you'd expect the rifles to be over toward the A side of the map instead, so understandably they want to rush on it.
Oh, no.
Timing is everything. Unfortunately, Rops, looking inside of the site, realized too late that mid was wide open. Maybe a lack of communication or lack of awareness on his part. Bomb to be planted again very quickly. Minute and 22, single kill, and they're in the site. Virtus.pro are committing. I mean, you go back to the round with the op kill by James on B, and okay, great mid-round call. They got back over to A and won that round. But even then, one pick, they wanted the rush. They're taking a single kill and absolutely running Mouse Sports down.
Yeah, it's quite a simple and clear game plan from Virtus.pro, but it's looking so effective right now. If you can win that first fight, you can put Mouse Sports on the back foot. Can work very well. You would expect to get most of the time because you're just having a bad game or an off game individually. That could be a problem. This time, though, Woxic has landed that first shot over at mid. Sanji hoping to close the distance. James has been dealt with in the meantime, and Sanji can't connect the shot. Frozen looking good in this round as Mouse Sports just pick Virtus.pro apart.
Yeah, much better. I suppose they've got enough money. Might as well go for it. Any gun that he takes down at this point will work toward a reset. Again, it's not an immediate reset in the current climate, but that's way better. Buster goes with them, and now they'll try and boost above the smoke that had it landed. Oh my goodness, on the stairs. Would have covered off the entire connector position. He won't have any vision. They have retaken position toward Catwalk, but that lost as well. Both kills, same corner, and that means they are weak on the B site. Sanji knows it, but Chris was aware as well. Oh, following up on the second, Adren goes down. So quickly was he to find the second shot that I think Virtus.pro would not have expected that trade to happen, and rightfully were trying to take position toward B even still. Just buying so much time. Kicker goes back out to get Voxic because James trying to get away from Rops, knowing that he was spotted. A shot was fired. They just bought so much space. I don't think Rops really has much of a chance in this. He does have a kit. 2 flashes now. Did have one, but picked up another from his teammate. But no smoke, and they don't need to overcommit to the peak. 15 seconds only to find 2 kills, and Kickert heard all the noise he needed to.
Mouse Sports continuing to go with this double AWP setup, but Virtus.pro have showed us some pace, and they're going to show us some pace in this round again. Chris J with the AWP. Good shot onto the first man, and he does get back to safety just in time. Oh, the jungle smoke has got a massive gap. They put a second one down. Rop spraying away, and he gets the first kill. Almost looked like he knew where the second player was there, and now that bomb needs to be recovered.
I wonder if he realized he hadn't traced on, and when he saw the kill come through, he figured, well, if I hit the second shot, the first one's got to be there somewhere. Good timing. Denies the plant. That's the important aspect. Bomb goes down. Sanji. Yeah, they got plenty of money at this point for the rest of the half. Sanji finds Rops. Make it costly. It's not going to win the round. Frozen never going to allow that to happen.
The bomb will not be ending up on the A side of the map. It's gone back over to B, and Kicker tries to emerge through that smoke. Pretty easy shot for Woxic there. Whew.
James has twice annihilated players while being the peaking assaulter, shall we say, the man on the attack. Sanji threw smoke, know exactly where to line up on Frozen. He threw the smoke, he made the shot, stepped wide. Thought maybe he'd catch Frozen trying to catch it before Bloom, and either way, another advantage for Virtus.pro looking for their 9th round. Voxic looking for someone to reveal themselves, whether it's toward the window or immediately in front of Quad. No one will. Fires a speculative shot, and perhaps just to bait them out. He gets away, saves his life, saves the op. Now they have both op.
They're already at that point with 9 rounds on the board. Here comes the mid boost. James taking a unfavorable fight. Rops was ready and waiting on that position.
Frozen. Not going to find much, but Rops will. Cap in the smoke. You would have thought they had more attention toward it, but apparently Adren caught unaware or unresponsive at the very least, because it's a free kill and they're able to back off with very little damage lost. That's a spectacular shot from Sanji. Voxic gone, no response from him either, and Rops forced to rotate and miss the nade. The left eye thing, man. The hand-eye coordination gets thrown off too sometimes. Sanji, however, smoked down. You would have thought he had the advantage. The shadow shows through the smoke first, yet the op from Chris extremely fast to find the kill. Kiekert's done all the work inside of the site to make up for it. However, Rops sees a shoulder. All on Buster. 27 seconds left on the bomb. It's got perfect position to catch out Rops. Kerrigan can slow this down, but it's a difficult proposition to get through the window and catch Buster off. He's got multiple angles to watch, and that is going to be too much. It would be pretty appalling considering their performances as of late, but yeah, it's not someone you can sleep on. Sanji with a few quick shots, Kiekert to find Kerrigan. Kiekert get on Chris J as well. Bomb's been dropped, or at least left inside of the archway for the moment, but they'll have to try and recover it if that's possible. Adren has angles covered off. They never checked underneath the shadow. They were too busy trying to find responses elsewhere, and it's all on Voxic. You can see that high sensitivity coming into play. Quick 180, but Buster's got him covered off. Convincing win in the end from VP. You know, Sao Paulo, whatever, or Rio, I guess I should say, excuse me, whatever the case may be, they were due for a run. It was interesting that it came at the major, because everything kind of fell into place, but they were constantly, especially in Swiss systems, giving teams of a higher caliber troubles. So I think they were due for a good result. Just, again, surprising it came at the major. Beneficial for them, no doubt.
This could be a good round for Mouse Sports. They've got the opening 2 kills that they were looking for. James hunts one down, but Chris J has put that rifle to use, down to 14 health. However, it's only 2 MP9s left for VP, so this could be a much-needed round for Mouse Sports.
Standing in now, considering, you know, he's been around for quite a while. He certainly had a very German following, and he's from there. His fans were from there. He streamed a lot. It makes a lot of sense, but he's become a decent player in his own right, beyond just an entertainer. Buster's got the opener, but look how much access they were given toward Connector. Walking straight in, James, 5 HP, but Adren's got Chris J, so the man advantage to jungle. That smoke's going to dissipate, and Sanji will be able to walk out cleanly. James going to do the same onto the stairs, but again, 5 HP. He was looking for information at that point. Doesn't matter if they get it or not. Mouse Sports knew everything one step ahead of them.
James is ready to rotate over. In fact, he's fallen back over to jungle, but the flash over the top makes life difficult for Adren. He has to fade away. Kicker completely isolated as Rops gets another entry onto the A site. James just about lands that shot.
Does actually get away with it and finds Frozen as well. Sanji gets Chris. Voxic finally takes down the very elusive Virtus Pro Opera that somehow stayed alive in that situation. Incendiary to the name of Firebox for a reason. Buster gets Rops flushed out by the utility. Voxic's got it all to do on the op. Bomb in his favor, but he's going to go hunting because his position's not amazing. He's not confident with it and completely blind standing in the site. Merry Christmas, Buster. That one's all too easy. And finally, Virtus Pro will get another round.
Looks like Mouse Sports are very much just focusing on grouping up in these rounds, going for site takes as a team. That's what they think gives them the best chance of success. And James just catches Chris J completely off guard.
To be as coy as he can and cutting off Connector. In doing so, he covers the line from the wall, so Kerrigan is at the same angle when he arrives at the corner.
Yeah, it's slightly risky. If there's 2 players coming, you're always going to get traded. But like you said, he kind of needs to take a risk being low on health. And if only one man's coming, they're not going to clear that position. This time, Buster misses his mark, but Sanji is up close and personal. The MP9 round to the corner, but Rops manages to turn it around onto him. The B site taken just in time for Mouse Sports. They get the bomb planted in a 3v3 post-plant.
It will certainly do damage to Rops. It does better than that. I wasn't sure where it was going to bounce. It takes him down, but that serves as a signal to Voxic. Keeps his attention toward the window, and he knows the ops there. Absolutely. Sees the gun, sees the hand, sees anything but a guy to shoot at. A full figure, but he finds one instead towards short. As Dren walks in, he'll go down to the arches. James making a case for the round, but Voxic's far too quick. Responds immediately. And it's map point for Mouse Sports.
Couple of FAMASs in there, a Deeg for Sanji, and a quick A aggression from Mouse Sports. Kerrigan, though, caught in the back. Not many nades used by Mouse here, but Sanji loses out in that fight, and that could spell disaster for Virtus Pro.
Frozen gets to the corner. He'll try and stay quiet for now, and I think he's going to make that work because Buster's going to fire from the stairs. He gets away with the kill, surprisingly. Frozen arguably should have had that sooner so as to prevent a teammate from going down. Adren, however, is still offset by 1 in the fact that he's got a clutch back versus both Voxic and Frozen. He's going to go aggressive in trying to do so. Loses track of Frozen going above him. He slides back down, and it is going to be Dust 2 to decide the series. So they'll get there without being detected. As a result, though, Chris J is going to rotate back out of middle, leave CT and mid responsibilities solely in the hands of Frozen, and he instead will support, you would think, apparently long. I thought he was going to stay in a swing position, which would have meant that he could have easily turned around and been able to find the players dropping in. I just want to point out something that's interesting that's happened. This used to happen back in the day. Rops, Voxic, Sanji, the last alive. The fact that they were able to isolate CT, but then lose the bomb toward quad is a great recovery from Mouse Sports. Apparently, they've all added Mr. Cat.
Seems to be playing around that B side of the map, which can sometimes be a little lower traffic. I think it was more on the T side that Potter was mentioning. Has been brought back to a 4v4 while we were talking. Carrigan decides he has to back away from that position, and he just about gets round the corner, gets a quick kill too with the FAMAS. Beautifully done, but Adren comes back around with the dig into the 2v2.
Ops playing the passives. Whoa, Dren, that is a hero play.
It's on for the ace.
Not only that, but Kicker just jumped out without any awareness of the fact that Rops was working up from CT, and Adren beat him to the shot. And you're right, he has a chance for the ace in what is an eco round to force round 2. Voxic, desperate to make a play, has the HP advantage, but they've spread themselves out. Time ticking. He does not have a kit. Kicker will deny the ace, but it doesn't matter. Win the round.
They really only had that dig, so I'm surprised he could land so many shots.
To take fights quite so aggressively, but the early man advantage means they don't really have to. They don't need to overextend and lose territory. It does mean, though, without utility, without those guns, can't play distance angles, and therefore they're able to walk out mid and cleanly get the shot of return. Kerrigan, though, oh my goodness, he's going to find 2 before they respond. Dren finally puts him down, but this time it's a little bit too late. He couldn't save his teammates 2 rounds in a row. Frozen gets, a double as well as he walks out to close out at Adren. James actually got hit by the smoke. That would have revealed how close they were because they had Chris J up above. Certainly would have played off that noise cue. Unfortunately, it doesn't do much to serve them because the kills come in favor of Virtus Pro. What a back and forth affair. No one yet to win 2 rounds in a row. And this one, I say that looks like it's going to Virtus Pro to continue the trend. Don't discount the possibility for a retake. 2 kits. Smoke still for Kerrigan. Flash in, but Kicker beats them to the position. Frozen gone. Voxic following in his footsteps will follow him to the grave. And Kerrigan wants no part of it. Backs away with the AWP to try and hold on to it for another round.
We get back into the action. Smoke for the cross. James doesn't try to land the shot, but Kicker might try to push through the mid doors. A couple of flashes deployed, and Chris J is caught off guard. Quick kill for Kicker. Virtus Pro might continue to up the pace as Kicker goes aggressive again, landing a nice shot on Woxic. James gets another. Virtus Pro getting all the kills they need. Okay.
Yeah, Kerrigan removed. Good find from Sanji. Now that they have long, they can anchor that position and 36 seconds left. They've got to be quick. I was going to say take their time to take the rest of the map, but a good counter push from Frozen certainly throws a cat amongst the Mr. Cats. I was going to say the pigeons, but whatever. Voxic, he's going to get aggressive as well. Frozen follows. What a shot from Voxic! That was a no-scope indeed. He can't quite replicate the same success. Does a couple quick pirouettes with his high sensitivity, but what a response. Frozen knew exactly what he had to do. They lost long, 36 seconds. And they pushed mid and completely shut down the A split that was inevitably going to come in afterward. One more at long, and he kind of split that 3-1, right? Zipix, you think back to the way he would swing, and they would have 3 set up around the op at long. But they could have adapted there, and Voxic doesn't need to overcommit to that position on ramp. He's gone again this time, the early pick as well. So now they've only got, 0 on the A side of the map. I was going to say 1 and Kerrigan at long, and he's isolated and taken down. Ooh. Decent incendiary, but I don't think it's going to matter when you get this much presence. Oh, James, wrong player. That's a Dren you've burned alive. It's going to have to be a little bit careful in the middle of the site with just the UMP to work with. Rops is going to have to be very clear in his communication and spotting players. Yeah, that's the problem. Chris is just standing there, no time to react. That wasn't the best setup I've seen for 3 players in B. Frozen manages 2 from Closet because he's the 3rd man of the site, but it's lost. If he's able to get maybe a pre-fire or a spray into them and slow them down, but that doesn't work. If he's wide on the platform, then he's able to call it sooner. Maybe it works. But Chris was defenseless ultimately. Should hope that he does arrive. It'd be great to see them at full strength. Adren, full strength somehow still with 100 HP. Makes contact on Voxic and spots the rest running toward Catwalk. Gets away. It's still. He has all of his life. One of the shots going to land. Finally, he takes some damage, but even still, he's only down to 91, and the rotation's already in place. Kicker and Adren finding headshots with the USP. Another to be found by Kicker. Double that again as he takes down Kerrigan. It's Frozen in a 1-on-4.
They've got the round in the bag. Hoping to do so with the scout in this round.
Sanji. The second man they weren't anticipating as Chris pursued action toward middle. They'll back away not to be caught. Oh, Foxic, he was committed to scouting for the information. If he was aware that there was a player there, that was a headshot waiting to happen, but I think he realized it after he passed up the opportunity. Good headshot from Frozen as they sneak out, and unfortunately no response from Virtus Pro. Great round in the end by Mousesports.
As he tries to back off to the bomb site, Adren gets aggressive. Good kill on the back of the smoke, and no one there to trade Carrigan. Rops biding his time, but eventually gets the kill he was looking for.
Rops through the dissipating smoke finds James first. Sanji's immediately on the flank. Rops has heard it. He sets and readies with the AK. 2 quick kills, and he won't let it go. Ooh, there. He does look away.
Buster with the AWP alone on B could be in a world of hurt. Sanji is going to have to get aggressive. He has to try and help, and now Buster could be in trouble on this B site.
Absolutely he is. Carrigan fired through Chris to find that opening kill, so therefore he gets an assist for Chris's death. More importantly, though, Adren has responded very smartly. But they can now attack the site, knowing he's rendered out of the picture and taken down now by Rops. James from the bomb, from his teammate, and from perhaps the round. 26 seconds. I think Virtus Pro have just secured the 12th and keep the lead in doing so. Kerrigan, ooh, that's fast. He's down. They know he's there, but he beats them through the smoke. Sanji gone. Frozen follows up, entering on high. It's James that's going to get Kerrigan back, but he's alone. He has no control of the A site and no one to anchor long. Pretty much writing on the wall, I think, at that point. Chris wraps around and takes him down, and it's going to have to be a save from Buster.
Again, VP are really making sure that they focus on the A site early. We finally see one of those mid shots landing. Buster down to 20 health. Aggression coming in from Kicker. He dances through the smoke. VP are trying to be really unpredictable in this round. After stacking A long early, now they rotate back to mid, and the boost marks out. Sanji, the man on the bottom, gets the kill. Oh no, they're going through the smoke. Carrigan, yeah.
Considering they've worked so hard to claw their way back into this game, kind of throw that one away. Late NOA boost. That works out. Voxic does at least bring it back to a 4-on-2. Chris has okay position in this. Buster's on 20 HP as well, but he needs to isolate that shot faster. Takes a bit of damage in doing so. 46, in fact. But B-site held. Smoke soon to dissipate at the door. Molotov is well in the window. They'll throw the bomb in because Chris has more HP. That means Voxic! AWP has to fight for his own. He does exactly that, but Adren beats him to the pillar and therefore position. Chris knows that they've lost the tunnels. There's no sense re-peeking it. Instead, he does the unthinkable and catches Jame out by going through a smoke. He has all the information required, but he's on the wrong side of the door. Flashes high. Hopes he catches Adren looking away. Brilliant clutch, I have to say, from Chris to find 3 kills in the round.
Go from there. They make the most of the position they got themselves into. Voxic taking a huge risk, pushing through the Molotov.
Kicker, fine play to step out and find Rops, considering deep smokes. He went forward of them. Chris is going to follow up, though. More B action from Mousesports' T-half already in the last 2 rounds than the first half and every round for Virtus Pro. Frozen's going to make good on it as well. Doubles up, but he's left alone. Needs 4 kills to win out the round. Bomb at least goes down. That gives him something to work with. 41 HP. He's aware of the fact that the flank could be happening. And Jame, again, bit slow to react. Tough to predict that he would peek so closely, but also tough to predict that 2 would come from that position. So arguably it went further than you would have expected already for Mousesports. Buster, whoa, missed shot window. That's the end of him.
Yeah, that's the problem I have with that AWP solo holding B. You can just be run down so easily.
And I think Mousesports have identified that. 3 rounds in a row, they've put pressure on that B site. Sanji, trying to get information toward Catwalk. Does identify no one's there. And with the smokes in mid, certainly looks like yet another B split. This time, Adren's able to shut down at least one. Buster's got the other, but he's now fallen, and Kiekert has as well. B-site open once more. Smokes in. Frozen's able to cut off the rotations, and it is indeed Mousesports going to the 14th round. A great exchange from Frozen, all 3 in mid.
If Jane was holding here with an AWP, for example, it could have been an easy shot to land, but Mousesports just confidently round the corner and begin to line up this A play. Ooh, or is it a fake? Let's wait and see.
Good hold from James. Even though there's only 2 on A, he gets away with Voxic's position and has support from long. Kickert's been lost. Rops actually catches out both in rotation. Unfortunately, though, they still haven't dealt with the players on A. Voxic a missed shot toward the car. He's aware that there's one more on the platform, but it's over. They can get straight on the defuse. Rops was in middle. They won't do it yet because there's a chance he's gotten up toward the catwalk. Sanji confirms they are free to do so. 14-14. This is going the distance.
Don't line up.
That would be a catastrophe, considering he's playing the off angle, but too much pressure. Far too much pressure. Voxic can't do anything to hold them all off. Does confirm that they had a double push toward B, so long way from the rotation on A. They'll double up the smoke. They'll go across it as well. Kerrigan's the one with the bomb. He makes it cleanly. Ooh, does he though? Has managed to get all the way around the map. Behind them, that's where Chris needs to step up. Oh my goodness, he is lucky to be alive. Missed shot from Buster, and that means he holds it, Carr, because Chris was not expecting 2 to be there. Buster takes the matters into his own hands and forces him out by the way of flames. Go to Virtus Pro on the first map point. Buster's going to make that possible and confirm it, in fact. And the Xbox smoke designed to create doubt, and whether or not they've gone up catwalk, keep the A players guessing, but meanwhile a smoke on B is going to confirm to Buster he at least has company, and Kerrigan wins the exchange. Kicker knew that he went towards the tunnels. James ready for the fight. We swap over in time to see the second op find a kill on Chris J as well. The advantage goes the way of Virtus Pro. Frozen at least pulls one back on Sanji, but they haven't got the B site yet. They do have it. They haven't taken it. They're not aware that it's wide open. Suddenly, it's a whole different round, because as they walk in, Frozen holds off middle, and it's only Adren and James remaining. Just Adren. He's removed, and removed entirely by Rops. I was going to say from the situation, 15-15, we get our first overtime of this tournament at Epicenter.
So Woxic's just playing back from the site, as he has pretty often so far. Kerrigan up on this angle, but again, he's alone, and that means that Buster can deal with him.
Kicker tries to beat. Oh, wow. The shot on top of the platform. Never mind that. It's his teammates instead that work in from long that recover the situation. Frozen Voxic gone. Rops and Chris to try and wrap this up now. Otherwise, we go to double overtime, and Adren has eluded the opposition down below on the box, but Chris finds him instead. That gives Rops the confidence to look back inside the site. The problem is, looking out from ramp, he's got a Molotov in front of him, a smoke as well. He doesn't have a lot of options, and Chris is already being isolated and removed. Get ready to do it all again.
Yeah, Chris needed to land that shot at short there. That would have given them a chance. Instead, Rops is left in another unwinnable situation in a 1v3. They hear him. They know where he is, but they're not going to fight him. They know that they've got the time. Great shot from Rops, but surely there's no way he can win this. Sanji lands the shot. And like you said, we do it all again. Another overtime.
Buster nails Chris J. Kerrigan still makes it inside of mid, which is a decent position to have. They can actually control CT. Don't need to commit to Buster at this point in time. Let Buster be unaware. In fact, instead, they flash, and Kerrigan's so quick to peek that he has no response. Voxic follows that. But it's James that leaves it as a 3-on-3. However, his attention in middle deprives the tunnels, and that's when Rop strikes to open up the B site yet again. So much as we saw in regulation, much as we saw in the first overtime, Mouse Sports exploiting B. Something Virtus Pro hardly touched on their T sides, until it has to be said the last half.
Ooh. Interesting bounce on the smoke.
Yeah, that was a bit odd. Trigonometry didn't really have the angle right.
Kikat's just looking for a fight. It's not happening for him. Eventually commits to the site. Both Kerrigan and Rops taken down low there, but it doesn't matter. But without the frag, I assume they will be slowing it down. Also, for what it's worth, Frozen is having such a great game here. Nearly 100 ADR for him. Buster about to round the corner, and he manages to nail them both. Great work from Buster on the B site, and Sanji will try to hold mid. Kerrigan at least gets one back for Mouse Sports, but there's more work to be done.
Secret reverse door long means a tough ask of Frozen, because he's going to be so focused on trying to clear the standard angles, so desperate they are to get a kill back that he may not anticipate this, although we snapped away from him. It looks like he did, and he does. He takes down Kicker. He knows James on the way as well. He's got to get his gun out. Jumps away, realizing it late. He's baited out the shot. He's got the kill. Fantastic so far from Frozen. It has to be said in this series, I've been very impressed with his contribution. Many, many multi-kill rounds. And Chris, left on the site, does more than you would have expected considering he was burning alive. He's brought it down to the one-on-one. It's on to Frozen to win out the series as he goes against Buster. Taps the bomb, looks long. I don't think he's aware that Frozen's this close at all, and that means Mouse Sports